continuously getting you updates on the Kolkata murder and rape case which is being heard at the top court, and multiple updates taking place, scathing observations, multiple questions being posed by the court. The Supreme Court resumed hearing the Kolkata rape and murder case. The CBI submitted its status report on the case, while the West Bengal government submitted its report on the vandalism at the RG Kar hospital after the horrific crime. Submitting its report, the central agency leveled a very serious charge, alleging the scene of crime was altered. The Solicitor General appearing for CBI said that the agency suspects a cover-up, and the most shocking part was that the FIR was registered after the cremation was conducted.
What of the accused?
Which report, Madam Sir?
The injury report, the medical examination report of the accused.
Of the accused. Lord, our difficulty.
Actually, I think Astha had given it last time, but
yes, we have the case diary. It's part of the case diary.
We are not supply. Lord, our difficulty.
Part of the case diary, Lord, they have it. It's part of the case diary.
Only a minute, Mr. Sibal, if you don't mind. Lord,
just flag it for us and then.
Sure.
Lord, only one thing. I did not know, my Lord, that there is some report, my Lord, because our difficulty was we entered on the 5th day. And thereafter, my Lord, before that, my Lord, whatever was collected by the local police, my Lord, we were given. And our investigation starts, my Lord, that is itself a challenge by itself, my Lord, because the scene of offense is altered. Everything is, my Lord, even the...
So everything is videographed. Nothing is altered. Everything is videographed.
My Lord, without knowing anything, Mr.
Post-mortem is videographed.
Yes, rest is not videographed.
Crime is not videographed because the crime is...
The seizure memo is there, Mother. Seizure memo is there.
9 o'clock, the crime is detected.
Seizure memo is there, Mother.
Not the most shocking fact. I am not making this, Mr. Sibal, is
that is also
combative move. The most shocking fact, the FIR is registered after cremation at 11:45 night. First, the parents are informed that she is not well by the deputy superintendent. When they reach, they say that she has committed a suicide. Thereafter, they say that it appears to be a death. Fortunately, the young doctors, the colleagues of this deceased girl, victim, they insisted that we want videography, we want this. This is suggestive that even they were suspecting some cover-up. So they were also trying their best.
Well, let's just see the medical examination.
Yes, Your Lordship.
The postmortem was done in the same hospital.
I don't.
So that may be.
Was also done in the same.
I don't want. This is entirely accusatory. I don't want to contradict my learned friend, but the record will show what happened.
The Supreme Court came down heavily on the West Bengal government, saying there are several questions that come to mind and the West Bengal government and the Kolkata police are unable to give any answers. The top court asked how was the postmortem done before registration of unnatural death and why was the crime scene only cordoned off after the postmortem. West Bengal government was left wanting for words, with the Supreme Court posing the questions. Kapil Sibal, appearing for the West Bengal government, has now been directed to bring the concerned West Bengal police official, a responsible officer who's overseen the exercise, mentioning that there are no clear answers yet from the government on the discrepancies.
Mr. Sibal,
Yeah.
just tell us from your record at what time the postmortem was performed.
Yes, I tell you, Lordship.
From your record.
Yes.
That is for the time being
6:10 to 7:10 p.m.
in the evening.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
Yes.
When you are taking the dead body
Yes.
for the purpose of performing postmortem,
Yes.
is it a case of unnatural death or not? If it is not a case of unnatural death, why do you have to perform the postmortem?
This is a case.
Just, so that you can respond to it.
Sorry.
There are so many questions.
Yes, I agree. I'm
coming in our mind.
Right.
And we have the best of the assistance
Yes.
in your form. When you start performing the postmortem, that means it is a case of unnatural death.
No doubt about it.
Postmortem starts at 18:10 hours.
Yes.
It comes to an end at 19:10 hours.
Yes.
What was the idea in registering UD at 23:30 hours
That's the FIR, Malad. That's not the UD.
No, sir. No, sir.
Malad, I just.
Just listen to us.
I'm sorry.
Either you are right
No.
or
No,
what
it was FIR. FIR.
You have to answer your lordship's questions, Malad, without interference, please.
You can.
No. Just
Yes,
one
certainly.
clarification.
Certainly.
The records reveal,
Yes,
subject to what you have to further point out to us.
correct.
UD case number 861 of 24 of police station Tala
Yes.
was registered at 23:30 hours on 9th August 2024. GD entry number 576 and the FIR number 52 of 2024 was registered at 23:45 hours. Is this record correct?
Malad, may I therefore point out to your lordship, just take the timeline. We have referred everything
So
in it.
according to your record, the UD was registered at what times?
1:45 p.m.
1:45?
PM.
No, that's not true.
That 1:45 p.m.
How do we reconcile the two records?
Malad, I'll show that to your lordship.
Because we today have a report
Malad, but that I'm saying, Malad.
which indicates that this is the time. So therefore, it's very surprising. Postmortem precedes registration of UD.
No, Malad, this is what I'm told, Malad, and I can only
Is
respond.
someone
All right, we have our legal editor Harish Nair joining us on the broadcast. But Harish, before I come to you, we also have Rahul Sinha of the BJP joining us. Rahul Sinha जी, कोर्ट ने एक्सप्रेस किया है कि जो प्रोसीजरल लैप्सेस है वैसा उन्होंने कभी देखा ही नहीं अपने करियर में. दे आर एक्सप्रेसिंग शॉक ओवर दैट.
समझा नहीं एक्चुअली, हम प्लीज बताइए.
राहुल सिन्हा जी, आप मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं क्या?
हाँ, अभी आपका सुनते रहे, फिर वो आपको बात सुना नहीं.
राहुल सिन्हा जी, ये जो हियरिंग चल रही है टॉप कोर्ट में, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजेस कह रहे हैं कि प्रोसीजरल लैप्सेस जो हुए हैं उनमें से एक जज ने कहा कि उन्होंने ऐसे मामले देखे ही नहीं है अपने करियर में.
ठीक. देखिए, बात यही है, इसके नाम ही पश्चिम बंगाल है.
Okay, there is some disturbance, Rahul Sinha. We'll connect with you again. Let me go back to Harish. Like I was saying, the Supreme Court has expressed shock. One of the judges, in fact, saying he's never seen something like that in his entire career.
Yes, that's right, Swati. Very stinging observations, questions being raised by the Supreme Court bench to the West Bengal government, represented by senior advocate Kapil Sibal. One of the very most significant observation being that the kind of criminal procedure followed in this particular case, Justice Pardiwala said that he has not witnessed it in 30 years of his career. He asked how the post-mortem preceded registration of unnatural death, and reminded Kapil Sibal that a post-mortem is done only in a case of unnatural death, and in this case it is very apparent from the record that the unnatural death was registered 8 hours after the post-mortem was done. What kind of criminal procedure is this? And when Kapil Sibal did not have any clear answer, the Supreme Court said that it might be forced to summon a senior police official who had overseen all these exercises, like the crime scene, noting the crime scene, inquest, post-mortem, and also registration of unnatural death. And he will have to come to the Supreme Court on the next date of hearing and answer the questions, all these questions. And as far as the Chief Justice is concerned, Chief Justice has raised several questions as to tampering of the crime scene, and also asked why there was attempt to secure the crime scene only after the post-mortem, when at 10:10 a.m. itself the hospital had registered an unnatural death case. So several questions
And there were no
being
answers
asked
on
by the
questions raised on the procedural lapses. Harish, stay on with us. Now remember, the Supreme Court had taken suo motu cognizance of the Kolkata rape and murder case and criticized the West Bengal government in its first hearing on the 20th of August. The top court had asked the CBI to file its status report in this regard. Yet again, the CJI pulled up the West Bengal government, pointing out the discrepancies in the events after the horrific crime.
GD entry, it says 5:42, 10:10 a.m.
Yes.
It says received information over the telephone
Yes.
from Ajikor MCH police outpost that a lady of PG trainee of so-and-so MCH was found lying in unconscious state at seminar room of chest medicine department of third floor of emergency building in half naked condition. Accordingly informed so-and-so officer in charge and under his order,
Yes.
leaving PS with lady police and force for causing inquiry. This is at 10:10 a.m.
Correct, correct.
Just allow me to intervene.
Now, one second.
The doctors are saying unconscious, though she was already dead.
1 second.
You don't need to be a doctor to understand.
This is 542.
Yes.
Now, next is 576. Now,
Yeah,
576 is extremely important. The PM examination over, the dead body of the deceased, the board verbally opined that the death of the deceased was due to the effect of manual strangulation associated with smothering, ante-mortem, and homicidal in nature.
Correct.
Also verbally opined that medical evidence of forceful penetration stroke insertion in her genitalia, possibility of sexual assault. They say possibility. Accordingly, PO has been cordoned under proper guard. Also, several witnesses were examined and the statement was recorded, consulted CCTV footages in and around the vicinity of the PO.
Yes.
One thing, therefore, which is very clear is that the cordoning off and the preservation of the crime scene takes place after the post-mortem report is conducted. This is what the GD entry itself says. After return to PS, under order of OC, and UD case has been registered, Vide Tala UD case.
We have Nalin Kohli of the BJP joining us in the broadcast. Nalin Kohli, Kapil Sibal had no answers. The council representing the West Bengal government on the lapses in the procedure followed.
Very scathing comments coming from the Honorable Supreme Court. It's not about the council, it is about the state government and the very fact that you have a horrific rape. I mean, questions that have come about not just the safety of a doctor, it comes about the audacity with which the act has taken place, the perversity and the horrific nature in which those things have been perpetrated on her. Questions whether it's a lone person or whether there's a further set of people who have gang raped the victim. The hospital, instead of being a protector and one who has gone out to see what the truth is, appears to have been the management working on instructions, blocking out things. There is a post-mortem conducted in a hurry. There is a cremation undertaken in a hurry. The police seems to be more interested in somehow covering up the answers to the questions that are being asked, and the investigation had been going nowhere till the Calcutta High Court stepped in, transferred it to the CBI, and now the Honorable Supreme Court has suo moto taken cognizance of it. After all, can West Bengal, and this is a state within India which functions and is supposed to function on the Constitution of India, to which the oath the Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal has taken of preserving and protecting the Constitution and protecting citizens, can such a government not stand with a victim? And the larger question is, what is happening to women's safety in West Bengal? At the end of the day, you are seeing kangaroo courts, you are seeing beating and molestation of women, and now you're seeing a gang rape. So this is not about answers from the council. This is about the Honorable Supreme Court expecting justice will be done, the guilty will be punished, even if they are powerful, even if they have long hands, they will not be spared. And this is about standing with women's security.
All right. Thank you very much, Nalin Kohli, for speaking with us. Let's go back to Harish. She's getting us all the live updates on the hearing, which is currently underway. At the moment, there's a lunch break. It will resume post that. Harish, very, very scathing observations coming in from the top court. Also pulling up the police officials, asking how is it that the post-mortem was conducted first and then the case of unnatural death was registered. Also, cordoning of the hospital happened, of the crime scene happened after the post-mortem.
Yes, these are some of the pertinent questions asked by the Chief Justice of India himself. For the benefit of viewers, let me read out some of the observations. It's like, the Chief Justice is convinced that the scene of crime has been altered, and there was attempts to, in fact, secure the crime scene only after the post-mortem, when the West Bengal police itself knew that the unnatural death has been observed at 10:10 a.m. in the morning, though registered later. They did not make any attempt to secure secure the crime scene. Chief Justice questioned about the cover-up and also questioned why FIR was lodged after the cremation. CBI had told this to Supreme Court, and family was first told that it was a case of suicide. This raises suspicion. This is what Solicitor General Tushar Mehta told the Supreme Court. In fact, when several questions were asked to CBI regarding initial action taken, the Solicitor General told the Supreme Court that it came into scene only 5 days after the incident, after the matter was the case was transferred to the CBI by the High Court, and by then there was massive cover-up, massive destruction of
Harish,
evidence.
stay on with us. We also have Dileep Ghosh joining us in the broadcast now. Dileep Ghosh, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में चल रही हियरिंग की हम बात कर रहे हैं, जिसमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने पश्चिम बंगाल की सरकार पर, पुलिस पर सवाल उठाए हैं. प्रोसीजर जो फॉलो किया उस पर सवाल उठाया गया. एक जज ने यह तक कह दिया कि उन्होंने अपने लंबे करियर में कभी इस तरह के लैप्सेस नहीं देखे, ऐसा मामला नहीं देखा.
देखिए, बंगाल गवर्नमेंट की अभी ये स्थिति है, सरकार कौन चला रहा है, ऐसा चल रहा है, कोई ठीक नहीं है. लॉ एंड ऑर्डर बोल के कुछ ठीक नहीं है. इस तरह घटना होता रहता है और हाई कोर्ट से लेकर सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक लगातार फटकार मिलता रहता है. सबसे एक ऐसा सेंसिटिव मैटर है जहाँ देश जिसको लेकर चिंतित है, रास्ते में है लोग, और यहाँ की सरकार और मुख्यमंत्री उसका अपराधी को बचाने के लिए पूरा लगे हुए हैं. एक वहाँ की जो सबसे बड़े अपराधी वो प्रिंसिपल है, वो भी इन्वॉल्व है, और वो जो मेडिकल कॉलेज है उसमें बहुत दिन से अनियमितता चल रही है, बहुत बड़ी भ्रष्टाचार है, और उसको दबाने के लिए कई बार इस प्रकार घटना घटी है, लेकिन कोई उसका समाधान नहीं होता है. आज सीबीआई इंक्वायरी हो रही, लोग उस तरफ देख रहे हैं कि क्या निकलता है, क्या समाधान होना चाहिए, और बहुत बड़ा लंबा रैकेट है उसमें, कई लोग इसमें इन्वॉल्व है. इसको एक्सपोज होना चाहिए और ये सरकार उसको बचाने की प्रयास कर रही है.
All right, Dileep Ghosh जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. There was also a heated exchange between the Solicitor General Tushar Mehta and West Bengal Government Counsel Kapil Sibal after Sibal accused the SG of trying to muddy waters. The Solicitor General shot back at Sibal, emphasizing the sensitivity of the case and also asked him not to laugh.
Muddy the waters. It's all muddy the waters. That's what you're doing.
Just see 42. Just see 42.
42.
ED number 542, dated 10:10 a.m. Received information over the telephone from Agikor Medical College Hospital Police Outpost that a lady of PG trainee of so-and-so
was found lying in unconscious state at so-and-so medicine department of third floor of emergency building in so-and-so, according to informed sector 92 OC and under his order, leading PS with lady police. So this is not general diary entry. What is
that? Is what DD is.
Not somebody has lost the life.
According to the
Don't
rules.
at least laugh.
1 second. According to the rules that we follow,
a girl has
these regulations we've done in accordance
in a most inhuman and undignified manner.
These are the rules, and we have followed to the T the rules.
Yes,
of
I will show that what rules
unnatural death end.
The Solicitor General. First, a general diary entry is paid.
Let's go back to Harish now. That heated exchange is all about details that are missing when it comes to establishing the timeline. Something that the court, the judges also kept asking again and again, but there were no answers coming in.
Yes, in fact, when Kapil Sibal did not have clear answers to the pointed questions raised by the Chief Justice-led three-judge bench, on some occasions, in fact, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta tried to help Kapil Sibal, trying to fill in the gaps as far as the investigation is also concerned. At the same time, Tushar Mehta for the CBI also raising the questions in manner in which the West Bengal police had underwent the investigation. At this juncture, Kapil Sibal said that the Solicitor General on behalf of CBI is only trying to muddy the waters, and as rightly said, Tushar Mehta retorted, snapped back, saying that we are only trying to remove the mud from the water. Here is a case of a girl who died in the most undignified manner, a shocking case of death, and Kapil Sibal should not be laughing and making comments in the court. Kapil Sibal said that we had followed all the procedures to the teeth, and gradually when I commence my arguments post-lunch, I will convince the court that there was no error. There was no error on the part of no mistake on the part of the West Bengal police. But so far, Swati, the Supreme Court is not convinced with the answers put to him by Kapil Sibal after going through the CBI's status report. But after post-lunch, in fact, Kapil Sibal will get a chance to respond in detail as the Supreme Court will be taking up West Bengal government's affidavit. And another very significant order issued by the Chief Justice is that the striking doctors, the protesting doctors must resume their work. Our heart goes to the patients who visit the hospitals with various ailments, and assure the doctors that all the grievances like penal action against doctors, like cutting of salary, will be taken care of by the highest court of the land, and they will get a chance to place all the grievances before the national task force constituted by the Supreme Court. And all these assurances were given by the Chief Justice of India when the hearing began. So now this hearing will continue at 2 o'clock. Now the bench of Justices, Chief Justice of India, Justice J.B. Pardiwala and Manoj Mishra have broken for lunch, and they will be resuming the hearing at 2 o'clock when the stormy hearing is once again going to resume.
Well, yes, absolutely. Let's also go across to Tapas now for more on this. Tapas, no answers came in from the Council of the West Bengal government on the timeline, no answers on the procedural lapses. The Supreme Court had to say, please ask a responsible police officer to be present so that they can answer some questions about the missing details.
Well, yes, very interestingly, if you remember, while the hearing was on, the SG have made a very important remark where he stated that the crime scene might have been altered. That's very important, and they took charge of the case only 5 days after the incident. And not stopping there, the court also raised question that why the FIR was registered after cremation, which is not as per the CRPC. So henceforth, this is something, an unprecedented act, and Kolkata police known for its investigation, and it's a force of a great repute. How could there could be such lapses, and who informed the parents in the first place about the suicide? And another important point was raised that the doctors, the victim was a doctor. She was attended by her friends who were doctors after the crime happened. Along with police was there. There were senior doctors who primarily looked into the deceased body, and they said to police that someone is lying unconscious. The SG made it very clear that doctors cannot say unconscious. She was already dead, and that was proven, and doctors could have well apprehended and informed the police accordingly, but that did not happen. The entire circle, if you go through, it seems that Supreme Court is also apprehensive that whether the investigation was carried on in proper manner, or there was any deliberate attempt to deal or tamper with the evidences or prepare the case diary so that it could be proved as a suicide or a normal or natural death other than a gang rape.